Welcome to an impromptu style type discussion we're going to have today on You Can't Brew That on Television.
Yes, welcome.
Our host, Reverend Ryan Bono, is actually out right now.
Yes, it's a very unfortunate situation. We're bound by the lawyers to not talk about it. All we know is that HR doesn't look very favorably upon same-sex sexual harassment. It's, that's all we can say.
And, there were other situations in the past that made this a little tougher. I've told Bono often that it doesn't matter what the discussion is. If somebody tells you that they're going to have their tubes tied, that doesn't mean he can go ahead and do that for them while they're talking.
Yes.
It was uncomfortable for everybody, and we'd like to apologize, in advance for anything else that Bono will do in the future.
Yes.
But welcome to another episode of You Can't Brew That on Television. I'm your host, Kyle LaPointe, Brewdog.
And I am stand-in spare host, Ryan Faulkner.
Welcome, Ryan.
Thanks, buddy.
Appreciate you having us out here.
Hey, no problem. Thanks for coming out.
And I appreciate you having us out here, I said.
I was about to say.
That's awesome. No, so,
my place. This is my brewery.
One thing we do every week on You Can't Brew That on Television is try to bridge the gap between beer snob and frat boy. Ooh. And so today...
I've heard that before. I think so.
We're going to stand on one side of the bridge, abutment number 4, if you will. We're drinking what I drank in college, pretty much on a daily, if not weekly basis. Well, probably more like hourly, but 32 ounce.
Hourly?
32 ounce Miller High Life.
Whoa.
This is just the good stuff, and what I smell here. I don't know if you guys have had this in a while, but you get a little bit of acetaldehyde in there. You get a little bit of green apples. But what you get is a nice, crisp, clean, drinkable beer.
I smell a little bit of ping pong ball mixed with drunk sorority chick mixed with I'm going to be late for my test tomorrow. That's what I smell.
I was never late for my tests. If I was up past 4 o'clock in the morning, I just rallied and got another 6-pack and went to my test.
You were never late for your test.
Drunk as I could.
You didn't know what a drunk sorority goal was, but you did know what a ping pong ball was, which
That's true.
Disturbs me.
Yes, did know what a ping pong ball is, and I did know how it reacts in a beer and how it smells and how it actually changes the smell of a beer. Yes.
Yes.
I did have a few accidents of actually drinking the ping pong ball, but. Hey, we've all done
passed
stupid
those things, right?
That's normal, right?
Yeah.
Well, today we've got just kind of a nice, light, easy show for you. We'll talk again about what we've been talking about for the last several weeks, which is one thing in particular, the Bruin Bowl.
Yes.
Which we're huge college football fans here. Maybe not. Ryan's a little more on the pro side. That's all right, but we're getting him into the college ranks.
Working there.
And January 1st every year is what's typically called Bowl Day, and it's the most popular day to watch college football bowls.
Now, why is that Bowl Day, Kyle?
Because originally that was the day that people filled a bowl up with all of their leftovers from a Christmas Day dinner, and they would just eat all of that food out of a bowl.
No, that sounds disgusting.
Yeah, it's a long-standing tradition. But anyway, it's called Bowl Day because it's a whole lot of bowls in one day. And it used to be almost all the bowls were that day, and that was the last day that any bowls would happen. But nowadays with marketing and television contracts, they go...
well beyond that. And they'll let you know it.
Mm-hmm. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to pick out a style, which we've already done.
Sounds like a good plan.
Picked out a style. It's strong Scotch.
Are we going to brew it?
We're going to brew it.
We are going to brew it.
We're going to brew it.
Okay.
During Brewing Bowl.
And we're going to pick it. You're asking to do a lot here, dude.
Tonight, we don't have to brew it tonight.
Okay, good.
We'll wait until January 1st to actually brew the beer. But in the meantime, we've come up with a style which is a strong Scotch. And strong Scotch is for you and for everybody out there, strong Scotch is a sweet style Scotch beer, and they used to rate their beers based on how much alcohol was in them. They still do, because of taxation reasons. They get taxed more for more alcohol in beer. Yeah. So this is a high 90, 100, up to 120 shilling beer. And it's a high alcohol content, but it's generally sweet. It's going to have some caramelization in there from the malts or from kettle caramelization. Long boils typically give you that. It's going to be a really tasty, overall complex beer. They're great. If you've ever had Bellhaven beers, they make one that's called a wee heavy, and that's a typical term for Scotch ale is a wee heavy. And oh man, they're great. We're excited about it. We're going to make one of those, and then off the second runnings of the Sparge water, we're going to make a Scottish.
Wow.
So yeah, we're going to do that on the Brew and Bowl, and in honor of last year when we kicked off all our broadcasting, FrontierTelevision.com with the Brew and Bowl
shameless
4 or 5 hour special.
Nice.
So,
is there going to be any extracurricular activities to brewing? Maybe like a horseshoe.
I got horseshoes out there. Weather permitting, we'd love to do that for sure. We're going to invite quite a few people over to the house, just like we did last year. Have a good old. Well, it helped too that Oklahoma was playing on January 1st last year, so sure. That was great for us. It worked out well. We brewed in the morning because the games typically don't start till 11, sometimes 12:30, and I forget exactly when the first one will start on the bowl day. They typically change that stuff around, but we were able to brew, and then we ate some lunch, and we watched the game, and it was a lot of fun. Great game. Stanford, really up-and-coming program. Destroyed Notre Dame this last week.
Oh, wow.
Man, crazy. I mean, Notre Dame doesn't look great this year or anything, but Stanford looks really good.
Even after they let go homeboy, the first white running back of mention in a long time, besides Peyton Hillis, evidently.
Yeah?
That's another story, though.
Peyton Hillis, yeah.
What up? Pick him up.
Pick him up in your fantasy drafts.
If you haven't already got him.
Mm-hmm. So what we're going to do then is the next few steps, we're going to discuss some things about that style of beer, about the Scotch ale. We mentioned the kettle caramelization, and we can talk about the different malts that come in there. We're going to, next week, discuss several of the ways that you can get that flavor. You can go as complex as like 8 different malts and get it from this flavor from that malt and that flavor from this malt, and you can do that, or you can go with just one malt, one grain, and go with that and caramelize it through the kettle and through maybe a decoction, and you get your flavor like that.
What's the one thing that stands out about a Scotch?
A Scotch
as far as
is that
ingredients and process.
The big thing that stands out in that amongst all these other beers is typically when you have a high alcohol, high gravity beer, they're going to be hoppy, at least to an extent. Hoppy or very dark. The Scotch ale is more about the caramel and less about the hops. The hops are really low in the beer, but it's still a high alcohol content. So it's overall it's going to be a little sweeter flavor. And a little lighter beer than what you would expect when you normally pick up a beer that light. It's going to be darker than this, but maybe like an Oktoberfest, it's going to be a few shades darker than this. And you go, and you take a drink of it. Whoa, kicks you back a step because, it's 9-10% alcohol a lot of times. So that's pretty healthy for a beer. This guy, probably 4% alcohol, maybe 4.5 at the most.
You're getting quantity, not quality here.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, we had a great time brewing that last year, and we're going to have a good time brewing it again.
Hopefully the weather's a little bit more kinder.
Yeah, last year was 45 degrees and drizzling all day.
Yeah.
It was so much fun.
How'd that affect the outcome of the beer, you think?
I don't know.
Is the ambient temperature that you set everything up and you brew? I mean, obviously it's harder to control the temperature of the instruments.
Right. Definitely the hardest thing in Texas and our fire devices, if you will, our burners are a little bit on the light side. Because it was windy and cold, it was hard to get a steady, big rolling boil. So, excuse me. So we ended up... easy for me to say, right? So we had, we ended up with a longer boil. We took our time with it because we knew it was a lighter boil, so we adjusted and made it, I think we were going to do a 75-minute, and we made it a 90 and just, put the hops in a little later. So, we'll give it a shot. Turned out to be a fantastic beer. We had a great luck with the beer. We didn't have any fermentation temperature controls at the time, so we fermented it here in the brewery. And in the brewery, we had about 55-degree temperature every day. It was nice and steady. This room is pretty well insulated, so it was really cold out, but it was a little warmer in here than outside. So we had an ale yeast going at 55 degrees for about a month and a half, 2 months. And it came out really crisp, really clear. It was a good beer. It's a really good beer. We made a dry stout this last go-around. So this year we decided to make it a community effort to figure out what we were going to have, and what we ended up with was a strong Scotch.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I guess let's go on to something else, man. We've been talking about the Brewing Bowl for a while.
Okay. Yeah. It's
Last night we had, we watched some football games, did our normal Sunday thing, and we came over here. Say farewell to Rich as he's moving up to Manhattan for the next.
he's big time in this.
Yeah,
big time. He's moving up to the Big Apple. He got an accent, and he even started growing a beard.
Mm-hmm. And we asked him if he was going to have a good time while he was up there, and he told us to forget about it.
Forget about it, and he flipped us off as he walked out the door. It's very uncalled for, if you ask me.
But up there, apparently, that's normal. So
Evidently, that's saying hi. That's like aloha.
Aloha. F you. Aloha.
Oh, F you too. See you later, dude.
So yeah, Richard's heading up there, and so we cracked open a special beer for the occasion. It was Cantillon Lambic, which is a weird style that you just can't find too many actual examples of. People are, they try. Some people make them in America, and some people make them in Canada, but you just don't get them like you get them in Belgium. And this one it has to age in a wooden barrel for 3 years, and only if it's perfect after 3 years will they sell it as a Lambic. Otherwise, they'll mix it with other beers, and they'll call it a Giz, and it'll be different ages, 3 months, usually 3 months, 6 months and 12 months, or 6 months, 12 months, 18, depends on the type of Giz. But it's a fantastic beer. And you typically have a nice sour profile, but it's a light beer.
A nice sour profile?
Oh, yeah. Well, tell me, what did you think about
As in nice and broad, and you could barely keep it in your mouth. It wanted to come out as soon as you put it in there. It was so broad.
It's so dry.
It like expanded, and it was like this dry expansion. Filled your mouth. If I hadn't already been drinking, I'm sure it would tingle the back spots in your jaw right here. It was quite astounding. It was, I wouldn't say, well, I used the word last night, pungent, but it was
I know what you're saying, yeah.
very, very thick.
Yeah.
Aromatic.
And for the same exact reasons why how he's describing this beer is why he chose not to join a frat, because the hazing thing took him through that whole experience, and he decided against it, which is probably smart.
I already did my time.
But the Cantillon is a great brand of beer. We actually, Megan and I, went to Brussels a while back and went and toured that brewery, and it's amazing. The head brewer gives you a little map for €5, and you walk around his brewery, and you climb up these rickety stairs and climb all around his stuff. And
kind of like you can't believe you're drinking beer from this dude. He's like, wow, God, man.
Well, the thing about this, to get
this
the natural yeasts in the air and to get what they want, they can't sterilize and clean the place, because sterilizing and cleaning it would cause all of the local yeasts to go away. So cobwebs are everywhere, dirt's everywhere, especially up where they've got the barrels. So we went and we got all the way back up into the attic where they got the barrels, and they're just barrel after barrel after everywhere, and the full size barrels.
Yeah.
And they got the little actual corked bungs in the top of them that they've pounded down, and everywhere you're walking around you hear, and a little beer will squirt out of a bung hole somewhere.
Whoa, hey.
Yeah, it's
hey, watch it. This is a family show.
It really was an experience, and you know the smell of the beer.
Yeah.
Well, imagine that, like being immersed in it in a giant attic.
Oh,
it was
my
like,
God.
oh, it's crazy. I wanted to just take and pop a hole in one of those and just start going. It was great.
Now, when you were in Brussels, did Jean-Claude Van Damme show you around?
No, he didn't. He was actually doing tours at the time in those double-decker buses like they have in Manhattan. They had a couple of those, except they were triple-decker. They do things a little bigger in Brussels.
Did you ask him to reenact Bloodsport?
Well, I didn't see him. Like I said, he was doing the tour. I saw him driving by, and he was doing his, I'm not Schwarzenegger, but I'm going to sound
Hey,
retarded.
remember me from the 80s? Not Stallone, not Schwarzenegger. No, not Lundgren. No, not Snipes. The other guy.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy.
You would recognize him still. You would know who he is if he actually made it to the cast of Expendables, but since he didn't...
Ooh, hey, sequel, The Expendables 2.
They had to save Jean-Claude Van Damme as the what was
Dude,
it?
he'd be perfect for that, man. That'd be awesome.
When he was like a command or like a
Universal Soldier.
Universal Soldier. He's a cyborg.
Soldier. Yeah. With he was Dolph Lundgren in that, wasn't he?
Dolph Lundgren was in the first one, I think.
Yeah.
In the second
one was like Bill Goldberg, the
yeah,
wrestler.
yeah. It was pretty bad.
In the future, we have meatheads.
And they have half robotic
obviously. Robot steroids.
It's kind of like what baseball would have turned into had we not nipped it in the bud.
I played for the Yankees. I hit 400 home runs last year. Hey, can you pick that up for me? I really can't bend over. Got short arms and stuff,
If you, I got a sports question for you. If you hit the ball so hard that you're roiding so hard in baseball that it splits in two, is that 2 home runs if you make it out of the park still?
No, I think it takes into account the overall mass of the baseball. So if one half makes it in, one half makes it out.
Then it's like an infield double or something?
Yeah, I think it would be a double. I think it's the technical rule. It's a ground rule double. You automatically go to second.
Right. Okay, that's good. I'm glad I know that now. So on the beer front, I just was talking to somebody today, and apparently beer at Texas Stadium at the Death Star is $10 for a beer.
Beer. We having a discount of $8.50 Shiners whenever I was there. It was quite a giveaway, if you ask me.
Yeah. Was it like a regular bottle, and they went and go and poured in a cup for you?
Well, they had these fancy schmancy glasses. I would say it would be 16 ounces because it was the size of a 16-ounce glass, but it didn't have any of the ridges or bubbles or bulbosity to it.
Bulbosity.
Bulbosity. Yeah. It was just your upside down cone. Okay. It looked pretty conish. I'm not sure if they managed to squeeze in 12 or 16, but either way, it's still over what you pay for a 6-pack.
It's
for
ridiculous.
A single beer.
I mean, it should be a family game, and when you take a family somewhere, you should expect a family to be able to drink like a family. And Dad gets a beer.
The kid gets a beer.
Kid gets a non-alcoholic beer.
Shirley Temple.
Mom gets a fruity drink, and after 5 minutes gets sick and runs to the bathroom and throws up. I mean, it should be a family event. That's the way I look at it, and everybody should drink like a family.
It was not a family event when I was there because I was cussing up a storm.
You cleared out all of the women and children, huh?
Yes, and made sure they knew not to come around me. Oh, we still have the pre-show up. I bet we put this down.
That's quality entertainment right there. So,
production value.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely a blast from the past, man. I can remember playing a lot of quarters, a lot of bullshit. Bullshit was a great game. I don't know if you played that card game.
I played bullshit.
Yeah, we played.
I figured you'd be really good at it.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at that game.
Oh, it's a game you're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just talking in general.
No, yeah, well, I mean...
You're good at bullshit.
Right, I definitely brought that into the game itself, too.
They wasn't called bullshit until you played it.
Mm-hmm. That's true. That was my nickname back in college, was Kyle Bullshit
LaPointe. KBS?
Yep,
or
KBS.
KBSL.
But...
They're Jewish.
Quarters, man. You ever play quarters?
Dude, I wasn't much in the drinking games. Because my main flaw about drinking games is that, I have to wait how long until I take a drink? Forget that. And then I always suck, so I'm like...
You're drinking anyway, so...
Yeah, I'm the obligatory the first guy tapping out because I'm horrible at timing myself.
I used to like the double quarters game where you play with the shot glass... And you have the shot glass, like 2 of them on the table, and you got, 6, 7, 8, 10 people, whatever you have at the table, and everybody's got their own quarter. And you have to make a quarter in the glass, and if you make a quarter in the glass, you can pass it to your left. And if you make a second quarter in the glass immediately after, has to be consecutive, you could move it to the right. So... what you were able to do is try to move it around, and you could have it keep going around, and it could catch up. And when somebody got both glasses, they had to do the shots.
Yeah.
And so if you were good enough, or if you timed it right, you could do 2 of them in a row and then pass it back to the right. So you're almost getting caught, and then you pass it to the right, and it gets the other guy. It was a lot of fun. And I got pretty good at quarters.
I like the one, I don't know what it's called, but you have 4 people on a side of the table, so 8 total.
Okay.
And then they had they had to flip the cup over or something. You had to drink it. You drink your cup and then put it down. And you had to flip it over.
Oh, flips.
I don't know. Yeah,
flips.
Let's call it flips.
Yeah.
Hey Kyle, let's call it flips.
Yeah, it's flips.
It's flips. So I had to do that, and then at the end, the loser everybody had to like drink another beer,
Right,
or a shot
and-
or something.
Yeah, that was a brutal one. That was just like pure drinking mayhem right there. There was no loser or winner in that one.
Yeah.
But,
Everybody wins, but
yeah.
everybody loses.
Exactly.
But if you're with chicks, everybody wins.
That's true. Unless you are a chick, and then everybody loses still.
But who cares what they lose? Don't worry about that. Let's worry about us.
That's a good point.
We win, yeah.
Okay. So I guess you are going to ixnay on your show for a while, huh? Is that the big news?
Hey, breaking news. Everybody stop down. We're going to suspend the split screen indefinitely. I don't know when that's going to come back up or not, but if you ever see my ugly mug on the network again, I'll be doing a sports show.
Doing a sports show.
Sports.
One thing we batted around last night we thought was going to be fun is if we do sports prediction games via video games, so we can actually predict the outcome of a game. Like yesterday, Houston versus Dallas. I would be Houston and he would be Dallas, or vice versa. And we'd play each other, and then the outcome of the game would be our prediction.
But see, respectively, because I'm not very good at Madden. I'm not sure I'm not very good. I'm definitely not up to be good, but I'm not horrible. But Kyle here, on the other hand, is a little virtuoso. So, I mean, every week, it could be the Browns versus the Colts, and, oh, wow, the Browns won.
84-0.
Holy shit. So, it'd be a little bit kind of ridiculous. So,
Right. We could read the stat line from it, and just enjoying the BS that's going along
The Browns
with it.
are undefeated. So, I don't know. I think that would be fun, as long as everybody out there would kind of want to watch that, and maybe we do it like we pick a sport and do it once a week.
Yeah, one different
Like
sport every week, something like
hockey or a basketball matchup. But
Right.
I think it would be better if we had one guy actually playing it who's good at it. Therefore, you'd play like football
Right.
or something, and I play like, or you play football or hockey, or maybe we could team up on hockey because we're both decent, and then I could play like basketball or FIFA. I don't know how we do the soccer thing because no one ever watches soccer. So guarantee you no one would watch us playing soccer.
that. But I mean,
It'd be great
for
if
about
years of the World Cup.
42 minutes of it, we would just pass. And so during that time, we
Pass.
could discuss sports and pass it from midfielder to midfielder.
But the other person who's not playing, it'd be funny if they commentated.
Well, I mean that's definitely the thing. If we don't play, then the other guy has to
Has
rail
to
on the
like
dude.
intervene verbally. And
I like that idea.
Be the Chris Collinsworth or John Madden.
So maybe we set it up to where all of the games we play on the hardest level,
Yeah.
and we get just absolutely
That's the only way to
destroyed by
make
the.
it. That's the only way to make it competitive, which really sucks because NHL on the hardest level would be insane.
Yeah. Well, the football games on the hard level is pretty brutal too.
Don't worry about it.
You got the. You can play all right, but they get the computer luck thing, where it's like you're doing great, you got the perfect defense called, and they throw one, it hits your helmet and bounces into their hands, and they get a touchdown. You're like, really? I mean, you're the computer, and you need that to help you win?
We do as they say, make it interesting in Vegas.
Yeah, there you go. Well, it's kind of a low key show today. I think we
It
can.
is. Did you just kind of run out of air?
Shoot, we got 5 minutes left.
OMG.
Yeah, I didn't prepare a whole lot of content tonight. Like
And
I
I
said,
didn't.
wanted to.
I had tons of things I wanted to get to, but Kyle nixed it right before the show.
Right. He was going to talk about raising snakes, and I said that's not appropriate for a beer show.
No.
He was
Yeah.
going to talk about snipe hunting, which he just started to enjoy this last weekend. He didn't catch any, but
Not yet.
he spent all weekend looking, and him and his buddies, they said they're going to try again next weekend.
Twinkie filling, the art
Yeah.
of Twinkie filling.
Yeah.
It's a lot. People eat them all the time, but it's hard getting that cream in there.
Yeah. Well, and also the vice versa, eating just the cream and then putting it back in the wrapper.
But Kyle would know a lot more about that than most people.
Right.
Why don't you tell us about it, Kyle?
Well, you use a straw
Oh,
and a
yeah?
vacuum sealer.
Cheater.
But what do we got, man? I mean, the beer world, it's Oktoberfest still. So,
I'll tell you what, dude. Let's go ahead.
next couple weeks, we got more to go. At least one more full week, and then Oktoberfest is over. But This is great, man. The beer drinking and Oktoberfest and all that, it's great. You can get great beer. Saucer's doing their typical
Yeah, their
Oktoberfest.
5th annual Oktoberfest this Saturday, 10 to...
I think it starts at noon.
Noon to 10.
Yeah, noon to 10.
Noon to 10.
Noon to 10.
So noon to 10 this Saturday, the 22nd, the 2nd of October, in downtown Fort Worth. Flying Saucer down there is doing their annual Oktoberfest off thing. For fun.
Dogleg folks will be there starting at noon. OU Texas game starts at 2:30, so we're doing a little festivities over here and
dare I say, I know where you will be.
Yeah, the last couple of years we've gone to that after the game, and it's been a little morose for us because we've lost and we've been. But last year it was such an ugly game. Period. Both teams played like crap. There was like 84 turnovers. It was just so ugly that it really didn't matter. Everybody was out there feeling like, okay, well, yeah, Texas fans won, but they looked like shit. So.
Oh my God, here we go.
So this
OU. Hey, I tell you what though, Can you believe the weather we got? I mean, this time of year, it's so great.
Got to open a window and sleep with the window open last night. I love it.
It's nice. Favorite. You have. Excuse me, all these sports coming in. Football's now getting rolling. College football's been rolling for 4 or 5 weeks now.
4 weeks in.
Pros have started up.
Yep.
Basketball and hockey are like 4 or 2 weeks away.
Yep.
And you don't have to frickin' worry about sweating, getting the armpit tacos every time you go get the mail anymore.
Yeah, it's been a brutal summer too. So for us to be able to get out here and enjoy the weather and maybe actually go out and play some of these sports instead of just watching them on TV.
Feels great. It's an exciting time of year. I think. Yeah. I don't know. It's weird to say because you ever, coming out of summers here, it's always so hot.
Right.
You can't wait to get into colder weather. But then once you go through, the a-hole of what we call a winter down here, there in February or in January, you can't wait for spring until the sun come out and it to get hot. So it's diametric opposites, and maybe it's just the mood swings from one side to the other, but it's always great when the weather changes here in Texas.
I'm good with these marginal winters we get in Texas. They're great. I like the fact that we can have a winter that doesn't really start until January. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Last year, though, we got bucketfuls of snow, man.
Oh, yeah, we had, what was that?
12-inch snow here.
Yeah, in overnight almost.
Yeah, it was great. Get to come home, and I was in New Orleans actually at the time, so I came back, and my dogs were just in hog heaven in the backyard. They loved the snow, and they'd run, and it'd be up to their bellies practically, and they'd throw a ball, and they'd get lost, and they'd go digging through the snow to find it. It's just... It's a lot of fun to have snow and know that 2 days later it's not going to be there. It's not like up north where you have the snow.
Don't worry about it. It'll be done.
Don't worry. You don't have to worry about shoveling that.
Snow here is like relatives. They'll come for a couple days and leave. Yep. Just like they should.
The natural order of things. It's good stuff.
Why are we talking about weather, dude? What are you, 50? Or 70 or 80?
I like weather and Miller High Life.
Give me some of those Grandpa's cough syrup.
So the other thing I've been hearing on the radio in a nice pun-tastic ad campaign that they're using for Central Market, they're doing like a beer days of summer. I forget even what they call it now, but Brewtopia.
I think that's what they're just calling their generic stock of brew. I think it's nothing or is it something?
No, this is an event.
Is it?
Yeah, they're doing I think it was the 25th through the 5th, so it's like about a week, a little more than a full week. And they're going to have brewers at Central Markets, and they're going to have a bunch of different extra beers. They already have a great beer selection at Central Market. It's a great place to buy beer, and good prices, good selection. It's a great place to buy beer. But they're going to also do classes on how to actually taste beer. They're going to do classes on how to cook with beer, things like that. I'm going to look into checking some of those things out. I haven't yet thought about it this weekend, but I had the football stuff going, so busy winning college pick'ems. I do what I got to do.
Well, what am I? I was in third.
You're in third. You're still in third, man. You're doing good.
Third. I'm not a college guy, but I'm trying my best. I'm sure I lost my ass.
All of your
game, but.
You didn't too bad.
Dude, Alabama almost lost. You see that?
Yeah, I had that. I had Arkansas on that one. That was helpful.
Yeah. That was close.
I had Arkansas, but it's a 7-point spread too. So Arkansas lost, but they covered the spread.
Did they? Yeah. They did. Okay.
Yeah.
I forget the final. I just
It
I was
was a
amazed that
4-point
Arkansas
game.
was routing them at one point, weren't
Yeah,
they?
yeah. Arkansas was up by 2 scores.
27, something like that.
Yeah, I think it was 20-7.
Something
They were
like
up by 13 points.
That blew my mind, man.
Yeah, I mean, well, the thing is, Alabama's one of those running teams that's a quick scoring running team. You know, you don't normally have that quick scoring running team, so it's kind of they can score at any time, even though it's going to be on the ground with a 60-yard carry by Ingram or Robinson. I mean, those guys are really good. But yeah, we had. Did college pick 'em, by the way? The number 1, 2, and 3 spots are Bono, me, and then you. So all your gracious hosts here at You Can't Brew That on Television.
We don't want to, toot our own horn.
But we're awesome.
Let me tell you how awesome I am.
But no, college pick 'em's a lot of fun. Fantasy football sucks. I hate it. I'm gonna
No, you
lose
don't.
again.
You are so obsessed with it. Don't even.
I love it, but I don't know if I'm terrible.
Hey,
or if I
dude,
just got the bad luck. I don't know.
I'm not. This is the worst. I started off the worst I've ever done in my life, and in the one league I don't care about, I'm railing everybody. But the 2 leagues I do care about, one of them which you're in, I don't know. I can't get it. I can't line my things up. And yeah, I had a rough week. Hopefully we'll bounce back next week. I think my guys are playing a couple of softies on defense. So.
That's good. Well, let's wrap this up, and then we'll bullshit about sports for a little bit.
Awesome town.
You know our little sign out? Say,
Oh, yeah.
remember, folks,
You started.
Okay, so here's our little sign out. Ryan's going to go.
Put it on a tee and I'll hit it out.
All right. Line it up, set it up. So, remember, folks, we are not professionals.
So please, try this at home.
Hey, you got it.
Nailed it!
Oh, God, that is awful.